Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today, a double unboxing. I haven't done an unboxing for quite a while because I've been a good boy and I haven't bought any watches. So today is one that's been lent in, a new release from Cuervo y Sobrinos, and the other one is the return of my James Bond mod, which I did an unboxing of already, but there were some things I wanted to have changed, so I sent it back, and Paul at Tempest took care of me, and I have to say a massive thank you to him. I should really give a brief mention to, maybe I'll put it up that side, the previous unboxing that explains the inspiration behind this particular mod, the 6538 the original James Bond Submariner. Of course, they are absolutely absorbently priced these days, very, very rare. Now, I'll do a quick wristwatch check before I completely forget. I'm wearing the Tudor Sub, unusually on an oyster bracelet. I know, maybe things are changing. I don't know. Now, I'm sure I'll be back on a NATO strap in no time at all. So, with everything done, yeah, let's roll into the first unboxing. The box was absolutely massive, so I had to unpack it outside of the light box, but this is the inner box. I have to say, I really do like their branding and signage. It very much captures that Cuban aesthetic. Anyway, so let's open this up and see what it is. There we go. Oh wow, jeez, look at this. There we go. Yeah, you can see that it's covered in plastic to protect the wood, but my God, buy it just for the box. Right, moment of truth. Let's open it up. Drum roll, please. Oh my God, oh wow, it's like a cigar box, guys. Can you see that? Zoom in so you can see. Look at that, that's spectacular. Which kind of makes sense for watches if you think about it. Right, so we got here, what's in here? We've got some little goodies. Ah, okay, so these attached here. That's pretty cool. That is really cool. So let's open her up. Oh my God, wow, look at that blue. Let me just take this plastic off. That is spectacular. God, look at the polishing. Really big display back, beautifully decorated movement. I'll go through all the specs later. Quite wide lugs, that their trademark Art Deco-ish style claw lugs there. Date, day of the week, and the power reserve at the bottom. Right, let's see how we get on. The star of the show is undoubtedly that dial. We have those okay, they're not balanced in layout, but I love how the placement works. It really reminds me of old pocket watches before it was possible to put them more equally placed because, of course, miniaturization. So that's why sometimes you get dress watches trying to evoke the past and have things slightly offset. And also, we have to say, the complications are very useful and practical for every day. Those beautiful pyramid style applied markers, and of course, that crisply printed in silver 6, 9, and 3 Roman numerals. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Very, very classical and traditional. As part of my commitment to discussing overlooked brands and trying to feature something new every month or so, earlier this year I took a look at the historic and fascinating brand Cuervo y Sobrinos. If you missed my full review of the new Landeron chronograph and overview of their illustrious history, have a look back at that video. As we have discussed the brand in such detail, today I just give my initial impressions of their newest 2021 addition to the Historiador collection with the new blue Retrogrado. As the name of the collection implies, it's based on their very own distinctive stylings of the brand's vintage pieces compared to the more outlandish and vibrant newer designs. In terms of specification, again we see their signature 1930s and 40s Art Deco claw lug design with the same ultra high polish finish to the stainless steel. They also are not just cool looking, they hug and position the watch comfortably on any wrist. The diameter is 40 millimeters, 11.25 millimeters in height, 51 millimeters, 0.6 lug to lug. It has a double curved sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective coating, 30 meters water resistant, screwed see-through case back with a sapphire crystal, and its weight is a comfortable 86 grams. Now you'll notice I didn't mention the lug width here, and this is perhaps its first negative. It's 21 millimeters. Why anybody? Well, listen, maybe I'm overly fussy, but I just don't have 21 millimeter straps. I have plenty of 20 millimeters, plenty of 22. It's just those odd even numbers. And come to think of it, I think it would actually look better and more proportional with 20 millimeters. It's a shame as well because it is a watch that you'd have a lot of fun with pairing with different straps. The contrasting texture of the concentric circles that frame the inner section that contains the complication displays works beautifully to make the dial more interesting. It reminds me of the Breguet dials, but with a more playful Cuban twist. Because the choice of script, the cigar box-esque heraldic brand logo, and the Art Deco Roadster style curves of the case all evoke casinos, mojitos, and Hemingway. The classical leaf-style hands do a good job of displaying the time, especially the long seconds hand, all without interfering with the complications below. Inside we see the usual affair we expect from this Swiss-made but Latin heritage brand with the CYS 6330, which as you would expect is based on the venerable automatic higher-grade ETA 2892-A2. With a power reserve of 42 hours, 30 joules, 28,800 vibrations an hour, hacking, manual wind, it's easy to set all the complications. It's nicely finished with pelage, blued screws and Geneva-style stripes on the oscillating weight that is also engraved. So in terms of performance here, do they regulate it? I'm not actually sure. I wish the website for CYS would have a little bit of information of just how accurate the watches are once they leave the factory. I love it when brands are very transparent and precise. I mean, a lot of you watch enthusiasts will probably agree with me. However, I have to say it was performing only a few seconds deviation, so yeah, it was pretty accurate. So while it's not anything revolutionary, but forgive the pun, it will be affordable and easy to service. I have to say the manual winding is impressively smooth, considering how modest the signed crown is. The watch comes in an interesting dark glossy Oxford blue Louisiana alligator strap with a folding steel signed buckle that complements the watch perfectly. The strap also features a super nifty to change bolt action spring bars. I always love to see those. Okay, so in terms of positives and negatives, the first massive positive about this CYS watch is, we have to say, it's a little bit different. Sometimes with watches, it can all get a little samey. I like this little bit of pizzazz that it has. It's certainly unusual and unlike every other watch and has its own distinct identity. And that can also be a negative. It depends if you like it or not, of course. The whole point of this watch is to encapsulate the golden era of the brand, and I think it really does succeed in that. We're talking 50s and the 40s as well, of course. The construction is unquestionably of a luxury standard, and its cigar box watch case, complete with the humidity gauge, is a fantastically relevant and usable presentation, especially when considering the audience it's aimed at. It's a snazzy, dressy, elegant watch that still feels masculine and unique. The drawbacks, however, are firstly, like before, the price and value ratio. I'm guessing it's going to be sold at around the same price as the pre-existing Retrogrados, at around 6K. That is a hell of a lot. The typical watch enthusiast will inevitably say, well, I could buy this watch or that watch or this particular icon or that particular brand for the same kind of money. Of course, but if you love this thing, what does it actually matter? Secondly, the Luminova is rather diminutive and is only on the minute and hour hands. Not a massive issue considering this is not a sports watch. However, the low 30-meter resistance is a concern, especially if you consider you want to be living it up like Hemingway or the equivalent Playboy lifestyle. If the Seiko Saab 033 can do it without a screw-down crown and provide 100 meters, why not here? And perhaps an obvious observation, while the blue dial variation is stunningly beguiling, the older silver variation is more legible. Lastly, due to the generous long lugs that make it wear a lot larger, I think a smaller diameter here would have made sense. This is certainly not for the smaller wristed. While it is very, very comfortable, thanks to the same exaggerated lugs and the way they curve and follow the contour of the wrist, it does feel a little dated in its size, especially considering the most famed CYS customer Ernest Hemingway at 6 foot tall wore a 34mm Oyster Perpetual. I think 38mm would have been a nice compromise here. In conclusion, a cracking watch that is certainly an acquired taste. Personally, I do find myself considering the previous silver dial model with the blue hands that I think really work. However, the size and price has unfortunately put me off. What do you guys think? Don't forget to comment down below. Okay, so let's move on to the second unboxing. It is the return of my Seiko mod. All right, let's, without further ado, I'll make the first incision. And if you missed the last episode, this is Tempus. They are based in the UK, and I'll give you all the information there. So just reach out to Paul. He's a wonderful chap, really attentive. So let's actually I'm going to bring the box back in because I need to do drum roll. Let's just slip that there. Be careful not to penetrate the knife too deep. And oh, it's in some kind of container. Okay, do a quick drum roll. Oh, I can see it. Oh wow, I can already feel it much thinner than before. I think it was like 13 or something ridiculous. Oh wow, oh yeah, that's right. I just remembered I had a new crystal added to make it a little bit thinner. I went for the domed instead of the box. Pretty chuffed with that, really chuffed. Perfect little size. Right, let's strap this bad boy onto a NATO and see how it goes. Now, I have to explain, if you want a breakdown of the costs involved, have a look back at the first unboxing, because basically it would cost around about the same. So this is what I had changed. In order to get it closer to the 6538 in feel, I've decided to go for a black bezel and replace the faded one I had before, as somehow it came out looking very green on camera, but in actuality it was more towards the grey. Paul at Tempus custom printed a red triangle at the 12 of the bezel to make it look like some of the 6538 variations. Secondly, a hackable NH38 movement replaced the previous NH36, which essentially is a dateless version of that caliber. So now we don't have that ghost changing date when you unscrew the crown to set it. The oversized crown, I have to say, works wonderfully here, especially with the manual wind. Perhaps even more so with this movement. The first mod was a little bit too tubby, so to reduce the height by around 3mm, I opted for a slimmer case and a lower domed sapphire, not the box sapphire of before. Sadly, however, the engraved caseback of the Gentry lion holding the hourglass was not possible with this new case, as the caseback is drastically thinner. But on a positive note, we have spring bar holds now, and the 38mm scale is closer to the scale of the original 1960s sub. But with the Urban Gentry custom-made gilt faux patinaed sign dial, I am not too bothered about the loss of the line. Also considering I will be wearing it in true Bond fashion with the black, red, olive stripe nylon strap from Wrist Candy Watch Club. I also cut off the extra slide under section of the strap to make it into a Zulu, again closer to how Bond wore his. So as you can tell, I am chuffed to bits. Finally, we nailed it. Thank you very much to the maestro Paul at Tempus Watches. Yeah, I'm over the moon with it. And the fact that he's pressure tested it once again, regulated it to within Coskin accuracy. It's actually capable of 200 meters water resistance, and the loom still works because it is the same dial, and it's completely unique to me, so I'm very, 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 very happy. What else have I got to say? Well, I am in the process of a collection purge. I'm letting a few pieces go. The first is the Breitling Consubin, the very, very rare little Colt. I just don't wear it enough, and you know, I snagged the deal. I'm gonna sell it for exactly what I bought it for. I think it's unfair for me to, you know, jack up the price just because it's been on the channel. I wouldn't do that kind of thing. If you are interested, do email me. I have replaced the gasket inside and also added a screw that was somehow missing. Somebody very observant in the audience saw there was a screw in the base plate missing. So as it's ETA, very easy to source the parts. I got it off eBay for tuppence halfpenny, and I fixed it. So it's functioning pretty well considering its age. It doesn't really need any servicing or anything. Slight kind of touchy on the date, but aside from that, it's fully functional. I've already sold quite a few watches privately. I'm aiming to have, I know this sounds crazy, but I'd like a collection under 20 pieces. I've got double that right now. So I've got a huge task to undertake, but hopefully by the end of the year, because I do my State of the Collection for 2021, it will be November, so stay tuned. God, will I be able to do it? Who knows, but anyway, stay tuned. Right, that's about it. Don't forget to like this video, very important indeed if you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another review or another watch chat or another mini vlog or God knows next time. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, ciao.